Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
The Grand Rapids Griffins start their East Coast road trip 3-0, defeating the Thunderbirds and the Phantoms. Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. I am your host, Connor Acker.
And I am your co-host, Kyle Acker. We are brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network, GameTime, Draftkings, and Raycon.
So the Grand Rapids Griffins packed their bags, loaded them into the Griffins bus, and they hit the road. To the east, having their first stop being at Springfield. We ain't talking the Simpsons. And then we traveled up to Leigh Valley and played the Phantoms for the first time in franchise history, which is quite shocking because they've been around for a long time also. And they're a premier team in this league. So having the two finally face off for the first time, very cool.
Yeah, and believe it or not, it was actually just the third time the Thunderbirds and the Griffins have met up as well. As the Thunderbirds are a long-time AHL team since the start of the whole league.
Yeah, so I really enjoy playing teams like that. You know, other teams besides the Ice Hogs. It's always good to play cool teams.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I like playing the Marlies too. The Maple Leafs farm team. Yeah, I really just like playing multiple teams. I think they should figure out some way to schedule things differently and get us a chance to play more of these other teams. I know it's just the AHL and it doesn't take high priority. So it's harder to like schedule a trip down to California or down to Texas.
I know the bus trips are a lot easier to Chicago.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like we never played the Providence Bruins, Bob Kaiser said. And that's crazy because they've been around for basically the league's existence and just have never crossed paths. That's crazy. The Providence Bruins and the Grand Rapids Griffins never played a game.
Crazy. So we have some player movement going on. We have Malcolm Subban was released from his professional tryout. Gage Alexander was sent down to the Little Walleye. Seager and Bantle were up. This is old news at this point, but obviously they played in these games.
Yeah, and Geilander as well. Geilander gets the debut for us. Subban went and signed a contract for Ottawa, as I think the goalie room was just quite crowded here. Kind of found himself right out of the room. And maybe Jack Campbell plans on returning soon. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be really cool if he returned. Definitely after the performance Geilander had, the room's good as it is, but like him stepping back into the room would just make it a battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You got three. You got Kosa, Campbell, and Geilander.
Yeah, and as we'll get into, like, Huso ran himself right into an injury here and dropped us one, because otherwise we were looking just solid as ever. But yeah, it looks like we will be needing the likes of Geilander, and hopefully Campbell does return soon to keep some of that pressure completely off of Kosa.
Yeah, but Kosa, this golden poster child, the big fella, Sebastian Kosa, he is the number one anchor. I think, what is it? Dan Watson said 52 games.
Yeah, they expect him to play at least 50 in this organization.
Yeah, he'll be getting the main workload. So really the other guys are just like Huso. That was like a great veteran duo. That great guy to have him with. Sucks that he went
Yeah,
down.
I don't know if when that 50 game statement, when that was made, I don't think Huso was part of the plan being down here. Maybe it was still, but I think if Huso was down here and healthy, he's probably going to be cutting into Kosa's time a little bit, just to keep the veteran happy. And I mean, the dude plays pretty great too, but got to keep him on the ice.
Yeah, especially down here in the AHL.
But before we get way off track, Michael Pickard also is an inductee to the AHL Hall of Fame. Just got to go ahead and throw him a mention on that. One of the first original Griffins that played for the team has his number hung up in the rafters. And yeah, we're really looking to see that announcement get called for us.
Yeah. We have 3 players up in the rafters. You know who they are, Kyle?
It would be Jeff Hogan, be Travis Richards, and it's Michael Pickard.
That's congratulations. You move on to the next round. Do you want to use your lifeline?
No, not today.
Okay. But all right. Let's get into the games.
So October 25th, on a Friday, the Grand Rapids Griffins take on the Springfield Thunderbirds at Mass Mutual Center in Springfield, Massachusetts. Griffins wore their Red Wings away jerseys, and the Thunderbirds wore their light blue and gold. Pretty nice looking uniforms by the Thunderbirds. Starting goalies for the Grand Rapids Griffins was Ville Husso, and the Thunderbirds started Colton Ellis. So the Grand Rapids Griffins had Carter Mazer injured, and Tim Gettinger still injured. And then Sheldon Dreiss in this one could not get ready to go for game time, giving Gabriel Seeger his AHL debut with the Griffins. And they also went with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen in this game. Started out a little bit quicker than our last couple games versus the Moose. A lot of puck movement and some high-paced play. But eventually, Matthew Pekka for the Thunderbirds gets the first goal. The first goal that Ville Husso has allowed in his Griffins career. And he was not too impressed as the puck came off the glass, and he thought it was batted down with a high stick. And he got the first save, but the rebound makes it over the glove. So Matthew Pekka with the first goal in this game. Watson and Dylan Peterson get into a scrum here. Austin Watson throws some punches, gets him kind of locked into the bench there, and eventually falls backwards. A good fight there. And Griffins were unsuccessful on their only power play here in the first period. There was a holding call on Hugh McGing, but no goal. Yeah, it was a physical, fun, pretty fast start by both teams. A lot of puck movement going back and forth, breakaways on both sides. I noticed we were being kept into the defensive zone a lot in this first period here, as our passes were being intercepted at the defensive line a lot, right at the blue line. Couldn't quite get it out. And then all of the Griffins' shots here in the first period were coming from directly inside the slot, straight back from the goal, all the way to the blue line, but nothing from the outside on the wings. So 5 shots for the Griffins here, and 8 shots for the Thunderbirds, and they were unsuccessful on their only power play. So going into period 2, things really started to heat up. The intensity on both sides increased, and so did the shot numbers. But both goalies stayed extremely strong, and Husso eventually blocked 2 shots that came right in the crease with a lot of traffic and some collisions. As Husso goes down doing the splits, he gets up and immediately exits the ice after 2 amazing saves. And Kosa will come in to relieve him for the rest of the game. So eventually, after a whole parade of Thunderbird penalties, right at the end of the second period, Nate Danielson opens up the scoring for the Grand Rapids Griffins here in this game. So on the power play, Ryklowski and Watson get the assists here, as Ryklowski gets a pass after Nate Danielson is a huge keep-in on the offensive zone. It looked like they would get it out and clear the puck, but Nate Danielson keeps it in, holds his guy to the boards, the puck squeezes free, Ryklowski picks it up, gets it to Watson, where Danielson finds it behind the defenseman and shoves it right underneath the goalie's pads for his first AHL goal. A great individual effort to keep the puck in, so otherwise he was not getting that goal. So well deserved. Hopefully we see plenty more. So that was on a Sam Bitten interference penalty. Watson and Ryklowski both come up with penalties for us here. 2 minutes for holding, 2 minutes for tripping. Griffins are successful on the penalty kill here, but it goes into 4-on-4 after the Ryklowski trip. And the Thunderbirds put on a lot of pressure on Kosa after that tripping penalty there and gave him a little momentum. But Griffins hold tight, and this one is 1-1 at the end of the second period. Griffins got 11 shots. Springfield takes 12. We finally score, so 1 for 4 on the power play, but we hold tight and kill off both penalties. Going into the third period, the late named Gabriel Seeger into the lineup puts us up 2-1 early in this third period, assisted by Doucette and Hannes. And it was a beautiful assist by Doucette here, coming down the wing, takes the pass, hard pass right to the center of the ice where he finds Seeger waiting with the stick in position to get the tip over the shoulder of the goalie. Beautifully set up there. Great job by those guys. So Cross Hannes ends up getting a late tripping call for the last 2 minutes of the game. Right after they dragged Danielson down to the ground, they didn't seem to care about that, but Hannes, he went to the box for tripping, giving the Thunderbirds a great chance, but Kosa stops everything in that last minute on the penalty kill. The shots are Griffins get 7, Springfield gets 12, leading to a total of Griffins 23 and Thunderbirds 32. Griffins go 1 for 5 on that power play, and the opponents go 0 for 3. As Griffins win this one 2-1. And we can get into this next one versus the Lehigh Valley Phantoms.
On Saturday, October 26th at 7:05 p.m., the Grand Rapids Griffins take on the Leigh Valley Phantoms for the first time ever at the PPL Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The starting goaltenders for this matchup were for Grand Rapids, Sebastian Kosa, and for Leigh Valley, Cal Peterson. The Griffins were without William Wander, Carter Mazer, Billy Husso, and Sheldon Dries. For the first period, the Grand Rapids Griffins come out for scoring, and the power play streak ends as Dominic Shine gets the goal. He gets a rebound off Lombardi's shot from the top of the circle, and it's 1-0 Griffins. So not long after that, Cross Hannes finally breaks the non-scoring streak and finally finishes. He gets a rebound off a Tumisto shot from the point. The Griffins lead the first period 2-0. It was a pretty intense first period. The Griffins came out really strong, definitely. And they led with a slight edge in shots, 9-8. Second period comes around. So second period starts, and 1:16 in, Rodrigo Boyce scores his goal, assisted by Ethan Sampson and Samu Tomali. And it's a 1-2 game. Quick score for them. And Danielson is hit in the corner, and Austin Watson comes to his aid, gets in a fisticuffs. The fisticuffs don't go anything crazy. He ends up falling backwards and onto the ground, but it's cool to see someone stand up for these first round picks. Snively is brought down on a breakaway. Instead of getting a penalty shot, he gets hooking. And then immediately after that, Joe Snively gets his own hooking. So they are 4-on-4 for a little bit there. So Amadeus Lombardi scores on a pass to Shine, and then Shine passes it back to Lombardi, and he scores in the upper corner of the net for a beautiful goal. Amadeus Lombardi getting his third goal of the year. And man, this kid's on fire. This dude's really starting to step up, and he has filled that slot with Marco Gasperi and Berggren being gone. Amadeus Lombardi is now our guy. And Anthony Richard scores a goal for Leigh Valley at 16:23. So it's a 2-3 game. And then William Lageson ends up getting a goal. He gets a pass from Austin Watson, a really nice pass, actually, by Austin Watson. Amazing play to get it to Lageson. Lageson gets it. And he's barely even looking at it. It's crazy. He's almost backwards, and he shoots the puck and scores. Griffins up 4-2 to end the period. Third period, Griffins come out strong. Garrett Wilson comes out and elbows Emil Vero right in the face. And then the Grand Rapids Griffins come out, not for the first time, but for the second time, and capitalize on the power play. The Amadeus Lombardi getting his fourth goal of the year. And that one was assisted by Tuamisto and Dominic Shine. So Lombardi gets the pass, and he does a toe drag around the D-man and scores on the power play goal. Beautiful moves by Lombardi there. That was absolutely beautiful. And Griffins win this one 5-2.
The quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 24-25 season. Get in on all the action at Draftkings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple, like picking a team to win. Go to the Draftkings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. Remember, all lines and odds are subject to change. And if you are new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
Are you ready to watch your team take the ice this season? Have you missed the goals, hits, and fights of hockey happening right in front of you? Don't miss the moments that electrify your hometown arena or silence the competitors on the road. Because with GameTime, you can be part of the action as it happens. GameTime offers tickets to not only sporting events, but many of your favorite events as well. With the GameTime Picks feature, you can filter out what you are interested in and display the events that matter most to you at the best available price. Explore the tiers of deals, as I did when looking for Detroit Red Wings tickets, and find anything from the cheapest price to the best available seats with their super and amazing deals. GameTime's lowest price guarantee and their GameTime ticket coverage make them a reliable choice, backed with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime Picks. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download GameTime today. What time is it? Game time. For Sunday's game, October 27th, it was a 3 p.m. game, again in Lehigh Valley, or Allentown. Yeah, starting goalies in this one, we get Carter Geilander making his Grand Rapids debut, and Ietu Makaniemi. Carter Mazur still injured, Ted Gettinger still injured, Dreiss is back in for this one, and we are back to 12 forwards and 6 defensemen. Laugesen sits out in this one.
So, for the first period, for the scoring, we had 1 goal in the first period. We had Sheldon Dries. He comes back in after getting called up to the Detroit Red Wings for a game. He never actually played, but he got the call up. But he's back now. So at 6:58 mark, Sheldon Dries sneak behind the defense. He slips right behind him and sinks it past the goalie. Nice performance by Sheldon Dries, assisted by Brogan Rafferty.
Yeah, that's the good stuff that we've seen out of him so far this year. Dries is going to be one of the drivers of competition for our team, bringing him in as that veteran presence, and yeah, it's good to see him get his first.
We got to mention Amadeus Lombardi. He had a pretty cool wraparound attempt. Was no good, though, but it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, a couple Grand Rapids penalties early in this one. Hunter Johannes with an interference and Ante Tuomisto with a roughing. That one's canceled out by a Heldsgrans roughing penalty, so. And then Emil Vero goes off late as well. Did get one power play in there. Did not score on it.
Nope. But yeah, I gotta mention Geilander finished the period strong. He looked really good out there for his first period of professional hockey, and I'm impressed. So period 2 starts. 30 seconds into the period, Leigh Valley scored Anthony Richards on the power play, assisted by Jacob Gotcher and Sammy Tumala.
So that one's on the power play. Our penalty kill finally gives up some. And yeah, like Geilander just couldn't quite get that one.
Didn't really have time to get set. I mean, we were just trying to get set, and then just kind of came right in and scored. But
yeah, and that one comes off that late Emil Vero penalty off the first period.
Yep. And then at 13:55 into the period, Cross Hannes, the man, steps up, comes down, scores his second goal. We've been saying he just needs to step it up. Assisted by Austin and Antti Tuomisto. He gets the shot from the point by Tuomisto. Turns into a crazy rebound kind of. He shoots it, gets his own rebound, and shoots it back in himself. Really, really cool to see him not give up on the play and take his own rebound right in there. Nice
Yeah.
finish.
A little more ice time for Cross Hannes in this road trip here, and we're really kind of starting to see him take the ice, as we've kind of been saying. This guy's, the floodgates are about to open for this guy, so I think Soderblom is next in line to have this type of luck start going his way.
I'm definitely for Soderblom now. Like you're saying, we had the prove it line a couple games ago. We had it was Danielson, Hannes, and Soderblom.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Now it's time for Soda to get his.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, second we got ourselves 2 power plays and could not capitalize.
Yeah, so Danielson too. I know we mentioned before he was like really. It seemed like he was trying too hard. It was almost like he was trying to do too much, and every time he did, he'd get the puck stolen or get poked away, or it just wouldn't go how he planned it at the new pace of the professional league. But I feel like he's starting to make it work. I feel like he's starting to make it's starting to click for him a little bit. I'm not saying he's ready to be called up or anything, but he's definitely starting to adjust.
The power play looked pretty good over the last couple games. I think a lot of it has just been feed Danielson the puck. So I think that's where a lot of that's coming from, and I think it's a matter of time before he starts putting them in at numbers. So going into the third period, Alex Gendron ties the game up at 2-2 early into the third, assisted by Jacob Goucher. And yeah, that was like really quickly. They kind of come down. They had sustained pressure. And before you know it, they're in the net again with Garrett Wilson, assisted by Alexis Gendron and Hunter McDonald. And bang, bang, we're down a goal.
Literally like a minute and 24 seconds later. So yeah, the Griffins are now trailing, which is not good.
Yeah, might have been a little bit of, the Geilander coming in, a little bit of pressure on them. They started forcing. They started getting a ton of shots. 13 shots in that third period, and they started to really open it up.
Yep. Leigh Valley just started taking over, it felt like. And then Griffins, after they fell behind, they turned that right around and they took over. Who else would you think? Sheldon Drive, assisted by Amadeus Lombardi and Brogan Rafferty, ties it up. So Geilander goes to the bench and Sheldon Dries comes up like the hero with the cape. Saves the day.
Yeah, and that assisted by Lombardi there, and just all weekend, Amadeus Lombardi has been a clinic on offense and on the power play. This dude has learned how to control the puck. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's really starting to impress people. His name's starting to get out there. He's ready to score some goals, and he wants to wear that winged wheel, man.
Yeah, so this ties the game up, and they'll take it into overtime, which doesn't resolve anything. Overtime was pretty limited. Lehigh Valley got 3 shots, and the Griffins got 2 shots. Nothing too much. Just a lot of taking it back out of the zone and recycling. So we go to the shootout.
Leigh Valley starts out.
Jan Randall Avon.
He goes with the backhand, and it's a no goal. Geilander wasn't tricked. Send out Lombardi. He comes right on in and scores.
Dialed it up.
Ammo is not playing.
Lombardi looks like Patrick Kane this weekend. I tell you what, the way he moves the puck, he's been controlling it smoothly and calmly. Starting to show some confidence for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, round 2, Anthony Richard for Leigh Valley comes over and he shoots it over the top of the net. No goal. Gallender looked dialed in on that. Grand Rapids Griffins have Snively come out. He comes in, tries to do the 5-hole as Lombardi did, but it's a no good. And then round 3, we got Ali Lixell. And then he comes in and it bounces off Gallender's glove. That's a no goal.
And we did not need a third attempt.
Yeah, that's game. Final score 4-3. Grand Rapids Griffins take this one. And they're 3-0 on the road. On this trip, we lost to Chicago. So we are 3-1 on the road.
Yeah, and we have beaten everybody but Chicago that we have played so far.
Yeah, and we are undefeated at home also.
Allowing only 1 goal. So yeah, that
Keep this
game
up.
ends 4-3. We can move along now into the penalty box.
So the penalty box is our 1 minute to step away from hockey and end the episode on a fun note, where we can pick the biggest idiot of the week and put them in the penalty box for either a 2-minute minor, 4-minute double minor, 5-minute major, or a game misconduct. Kyle, who are you throwing in the box?
All right, just a minor here. I was listening to the broadcast of the Moose game, and the topic of the new jerseys came up between Bob Kaiser and Larry Figurski. Now, I'm alright, Larry. If you want to dislike the new jersey, I'm fine with that. But you're not allowed to dislike the vintage winged shoulder Griffins jersey that has the wings on the shoulders of the Griffins. That thing is beautiful. It's the number 1 jersey that the Griffins have ever had. Hands down.
I love it. He said he didn't like the new one either because of the shoulder pad, and I agree with that at first. I really didn't like it, but now that I look at it more, the gold really shines, and I think the shoulder pad, the red, is more like it shows more of like the Red Wings. So I like
Yeah.
more red.
Yeah, it feels more affiliated. And then we have our touch of gold for Grand Rapids. So I like the new jerseys. But I loved the Griffins shoulders from before. So
Yeah, I did love those. I did too.
I will not accept any downspeak of those.
So 2 minutes in the box.
2 minutes in the box for Larry. That's all.
So I'm gonna throw Wiz Khalifa into the box. I thought I just knew. So I'm gonna throw Wiz Khalifa into the penalty box. So Wiz Khalifa, obviously marijuana entrepreneur and a rapper. Part of his shows is partaking in the medicinal cannabis. But turns out it ain't medicinal everywhere. In Romania, it is a very highly illegal drug. I guess he was warned before his concert not to spark up any chronic, but turns out it's Wiz Khalifa. You think you're going to tell him not to spark up some chronic? Wiz Khalifa sparks up the chronic, and the police arrest him, and he is inducted on charges, drug charges. I know you want to be a G. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. You can't just act like, oh, we can just blaze up right here because we want to. Blazing it up.
It's all
That's
regulations, man. Everything's regulated. They don't get a chance to regulate it. They're not going to allow it. And they don't want people just lighting up over there, then you can't just light up over there. Especially on stage in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna throw him in for a 2-minute. I mean, but yeah, it was just use your head. Like you're not above the law. They have a law there to take serious to it. But the law's the law, son. And you're in the box for 2 minutes.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Well, yep. That should wrap us up for this episode.
Coming up this next week, we got our game against the Hartford Wolfpack. Expect that one on Wednesday in Hartford. So you'll have to have your Flow TV to catch that one, unless you're good at sailing the 7 seas.
And then,
Thanks.
and then we take on Rockford at the Van Andel on November 1st, the Friday.
Gotcha.
$2 beer, $2 dogs, and I believe military appreciation night. If you get there early, you can get a camo hoodie. It's a t-shirt hoodie camo.
T-shirt hoodie. Is it snow camo or is it green camo? You know?
It's green. It's. I think it's like the army pattern.
Gotcha. Yeah, for Veterans Night.
Yep, Veterans Night, military appreciation.
Yeah, that's one of the funner things about the AHL is they actually wear the jersey during the game too.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the NHL, they wear the jersey, but they take it off before the actual game starts. They'll wear it for like the pregame and all that.
Yeah, NHL rules, you know.
The AHL, you get them to wear that jersey all game, which is really cool. Then they auction it off.
Yeah, they go for pretty high prices. But if you really want a Costa jersey, you know where to get one. All right, yeah, that should wrap us up. Thank you guys for listening. Just give us a 5-star review. That stuff always helps.
Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Thank you for listening to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star review. We are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are not partnered with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit Red Wings, or Toledo Walleye. We are not experts. We are just die-hard fans looking to make a community with others alike. Let's go Griffins Nation. Join the fun, like, and follow us on Facebook and X, or call into the show and have your opinion heard 1-616-319-1175. Thank you. Grand Rapids Griffins, Toledo Walleye, and Detroit Red Wings. Players, coaches, websites, and social media. Thank you AHL.com, NHL.com, ETL.com, EliteProspects.com, and anyone else putting out information on the teams. Until next time, go Griffins. Go Red Wings, go Walleye.